Question number 8 involves this exponential and the graph's been drawn for you. It's to show that the x-intercept is particular value. Part B is a question about average value. So do we know the formula for average value? And part C is the average rate of change. So it's really questions about the difference between average value and average rate of change. But let's do part A first. We have to come up with this answer all by ourselves. So if I know that f of x equals 3 minus e to the kx, I'm looking for the x-intercept, therefore let y equal 0. So 0 equals 3 minus e to the kx. Move the minus e to the kx to the left. E to the kx equals 3. Then I'm going to turn it into an exponential logarithm. So kx will equal log base e of 3, and x will equal 1 on k, log base e of 3, and that's the right answer that we're asked to find. Okay, the second part of the question, we're going to find the average value of f, and we have a rule for the average value of f, and that is 1 on top of x2 minus x1 integral x1 to x2 of f of x dx. That's the rule for average value. So in this particular case, x1 is 0 and x2 is 1 on k log base e of 3. So 1 on k log base e of 3 minus 0, integral from 0 to 1 on k log base e of 3, and I've got 3 minus e to the kx dx. This here is the same as 1 on top of log base e of 3 on k, which if I flip the denominator gives me k on top of log base e of 3. Square brackets, the integral of 3 is 3x minus the integral of e to the kx will be 1 on k e to the kx, going from 0 to 1 on k log base e of 3. So I've got k on top of log base e of 3. Now, I'm going to use some colour to show you what's happening here. 3 times 1 on k log base e of 3 minus 1 on k e to the k times 1 on k log base e of 3. So these k's cancel, which leaves me with e to log base e of 3, which equals 3. So this is minus 3 on k. Sorry. My apologies, I need to put in the 0. And then minus 3 times nothing is 0, plus 1 on k e to the 0. This is plus 1 on k, because e to the 0 is 1. So here we have 3 log base e of 3 on k. All out the front is k log base e of 3. So these will combine together to give me minus 2 on k, 3 log base e of 3 on k, times k log base e of 3. So when this multiplies with this, the k's cancel, the log base e of 3's cancel to leave with 3. Minus this times 2, the k's will cancel, 2 on top of log base e of 3, and that's my final answer. And I had to put it in this form, and that is the correct form, because A is going to equal 3 and B is going to equal 2. It's not asking you for the values of A and B. They're asking you to express it in that form, and it's what I've done. So that's average value, using the average value formula. The next question is average rate of change. An average rate of change will be f of 1 minus f of 0 over 1 minus 0, which is f of 1 minus f of 0 over 1, which will be 3 minus e to the k minus 3 minus e to the 0, which is going to be 3 minus e to the k minus 3 plus 1, which is 1 minus e to the k. And that's what the average rate of change will be. But I need for it to be negative. So I need 1 minus e to the k to be less than 0, needs to be negative. Minus e to the k less than negative 1. If I multiply both sides by negative 1, that becomes e to the k, and that becomes bigger than positive 1. Now, if I graph e to the k, I end up with this graph here, and that's where it's equal to 1. So when k equals 0, e to the k equals 1. When k is bigger than 0, over here, that's where e to the k is bigger than 1. So that is my answer to the question, where is the average rate of change? Negative.